Have you ever felt the urge to defend yourself, to prove a point, to explain your worth, or to strike back when someone disrespects you, only to feel emptier afterward? There's something deeply human in that impulse, that pull to react. But there's also something quietly destructive in it. The more we chase validation or retribution, the more power we hand over to those who never deserved it in the first place. In a world that glorifies retaliation, clapping back and putting people in their place, choosing not to fight can feel like weakness. But what if it's the exact opposite? What if real power isn't loud, but calm? Not reactive, but composed. The Stoics believed that strength wasn't about conquering others. It was about mastering yourself. Not your image, not your reputation, but the only thing that's truly yours, your response. That's why silence, when practiced with intention, becomes more than just a lack of words. It becomes strategy, control, command. Today we'll walk through 6 quiet disciplines that don't just protect your energy, they shift the balance of power entirely. But I won't spoil it. Just watch closely. Each one is a mirror, revealing where your real strength has been hiding all along. If you're ready, let's begin. Quietly, intentionally, and without a word. 1. Stop explaining, start walking. Have you ever walked away from something quietly? No goodbye, no explanation, just a shift in your energy, and felt a strange peace follow you. Not the kind that makes you feel safe, but the kind that makes you feel sovereign. That's the kind of peace a warrior earns. Not by shouting, not by convincing, but by choosing silence when the world demands an answer. We live in an age where everyone wants your why. Why you left, why you changed, why you don't respond the same way anymore. And if you're not careful, you'll spend your entire life handing out justifications to people who were never meant to understand you. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The tranquility that comes when you stop caring what they say, or think, or do, only what you do. That is the essence of this lesson. The moment you stop explaining yourself, you stop asking for permission to be who you've already become. Explanation is a soft chain. Each time you explain, you reinforce the idea that your peace is negotiable, that your movement requires approval. But it doesn't, not if you're walking the right way. There's a man I knew who built his life in silence. For years he worked a quiet job, kept a modest routine, and stayed out of sight. No social posts, no updates. People thought he'd given up. His name stopped appearing in conversations. Some mocked him, others felt pity. What they didn't know was that every morning at 5 he trained. Not just his body, but his mind. While they were distracted by noise, he was sharpening intention. One day, without warning, he resigned. 2 weeks later, he was gone. 6 months passed. A photo surfaced. He was leading wilderness expeditions overseas, strong, focused, unrecognizable, and when someone asked him why he left, he simply said, "Because I had somewhere else to be." No one knew what that meant, but everyone felt it. You see, when you explain too much, you become readable. And when people can read you, they start to write your story for you. That's why Machiavelli warned rulers to act boldly, but never reveal their true motive. Because mystery is not a mask, it's armor. If people can't anticipate you, they can't limit you. If they can't understand you, they can't control you. Stoicism teaches that the only domain you truly govern is the one inside you. That's where the battle is. Not outside, not in the opinions of others, but in the impulse to speak when silence would serve you better. To react when stillness is the stronger move. A warrior isn't the loudest man in the room. He's the one who doesn't flinch when misunderstood. He knows that control is lost, not through conflict, but through explanation. The moment you need someone to get it, you're already bending. Picture a woman who decides to walk away from a circle of friends she once laughed with every weekend. There's no fight, no big scene. She just quietly starts saying no. And when they ask, "Is everything okay?" she smiles and says, "I'm just focusing on some things right now." But what she's really doing is protecting a fragile growth within her, one that doesn't need spectators, one that can't afford to be pulled back by small minds with loud voices. And as the silence stretches, they grow nervous. They start to gossip, to fill in the blanks with their own stories. But none of it touches her, because she's already left the room, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Her silence becomes her signature, and without raising her voice, she commands a space they'll never enter again. Here's a truth no one likes to admit. The strongest people often walk away from arguments they could win, not because they're weak, but because they know winning the outside war would cost them their inner one. Reaction is distraction, even if you're right, especially if you're right. The need to be understood is a hidden form of dependence. And Stoicism reminds us that the only thing we must depend on is virtue, right action, clear intention, and the strength to hold the line even when no one claps. So the next time someone demands your explanation, whether it's a coworker wondering why you've changed, or an old friend who feels entitled to your time, pause, breathe, and ask yourself, do I owe them this piece of me? Or is this the moment I choose restraint over reaction? The warrior doesn't explain his path, he walks it. And, if he's truly on the right way, time will speak louder than words ever could. And that's where we begin, with the decision to be still when the world wants a sound. In the next part, we'll explore the second discipline of quiet dominance. How your presence alone can disarm anyone without you saying a single word. 2. Let arrogance collapse itself. Have you ever watched someone walk into a room, chest out, voice loud, convinced they're the most important person there? They speak not to connect, but to dominate. They flaunt, they flex, they push others down just to rise an inch higher. And the question echoes, should you stop them? Should you prove that you're more, that you know better, that they've underestimated the wrong one? But then you pause, and in that pause, there's power. Napoleon once said, "When the enemy is making a false move, don't interrupt him." And the Stoics would have agreed. Not everything requires your hand. Sometimes the right way to win is not by confronting arrogance, but by letting it collapse under its own weight. You see, ego is loud, wisdom is quiet, and dominance, it doesn't scream. It waits, it watches, it doesn't reveal its strength until the time is perfect. Epictetus taught that if someone thinks ill of you, you don't need to fix it. You don't need to chase their perception or challenge their insult. He said, if evil is spoken of you and it be true, correct yourself. If it be a lie, laugh at it. Why? Because the wise warrior understands. If your enemy's greatest weakness is their pride, the last thing you want is to interrupt them while they're feeding it. Let them eat. Let them believe you're small, unthreatening, easy to ignore. That's when they begin to relax. That's when they open the door. I knew a man once. Let's call him Caleb. He worked under a manager who was all show, no depth. This manager mocked him in meetings, ignored his input, even took credit for his work. Most people would have pushed back, made a scene, proved a point. But Caleb didn't. He kept doing the work, quietly, flawlessly, observing everything, taking notes. Then one day during a regional review, the upper directors noticed something. All the real performance, all the real innovation, it traced back to Caleb, not the manager. Within a month, the roles flipped. The one who boasted was removed. The one who built in silence stepped up, and he never had to raise his voice. That's the art. When someone disrespects you, underestimates you, or tries to provoke you, resist the urge to respond. Don't rise to it. Let them believe they've won. Let their imagination do the work. That's not weakness. That's strategy. Machiavelli believed in the power of appearances, not because they were dishonest, but because they disarmed. To appear less powerful, less aware, less reactive, that's how you enter rooms unnoticed and leave them transformed. In every space, business, family, status, there will be people playing a loud game. Their game is pride, performance, power built on sand. And if you step into that game, you're playing on their terms. You'll lose, not because you're weak, but because you left the right way for the wrong one. You can't outshout someone who lives for noise, but you can outlast them, outweight them. Let them burn the room down to prove they're right while you quietly build the house next door. There's something haunting about stillness in the face of arrogance. It makes people uneasy because they can't read it. They can't control it. When you're silent, you're unpredictable. And that unpredictability makes you dangerous. While they're busy performing, you're observing patterns. While they're showing off, you're positioning yourself. The higher they climb on ego, the further they fall when reality hits. Have you ever seen someone get too comfortable around you? They start slipping, revealing things they shouldn't, acting bold, reckless even, because they've decided you're harmless. That's the moment. Not to react, but to register. Because when a person's confidence is built on illusion, all it takes is time and truth to shatter it. But truth doesn't need to yell. It just needs to stand still long enough to be seen.